This evening, should the national parks charge an entrance fee? Persons sound off. School robotics team hosts comedy fundraiser. Shooting death sparks domestic violence debate. And we bring you the top regional and international headlines of the day.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Bramwell Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Today is Wednesday, April the 4th, 2018, and this edition of Headline News is now being streamed live on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. This past Easter, the National Parks Commission charged a fee for visitors to several parks under their jurisdiction. Wendell Jeffrey went to the streets to find out how persons felt about the move.
Over the Easter weekend, folks were charged an entrance fee into the national park, and we wanted to find out from the Guyanese citizenry what they thought of having to pay to enter the national park on public holidays. Here's what they had to say. People should pay this.
Why? Because it's a business, and the national park need to be fixed, and things need to be done in getting the national park in order to have programs there. So that's why people should pay if it is possible.
When they go and ask the place, they still can't find people pay for cleaning it up because they won't clean up the place. That is the reason why. If you give them free, who them know the government got people for cleaning it up. So this is why they got to pay.
Nah, that should be it's a national event. They should be free, you know. There shouldn't be no monetary nothing for that. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think they should pay to go to the national park. It's supposed to be free. You know, that's what
they should pay for the national park. They should pay for going. They should pay for going.
Why we gotta pay? I don't think that make no sense. No, that don't make any sense.
I don't feel they should be paying any money for going in the national park. I don't know why they keep exploiting people like that.
George, the reactions were mixed, as you have seen. Off the camera, folks spoke who didn't want to come on camera. On both sides of the divide, some are saying that in as much as there's an influx of persons on these national holidays, that a fee should be charged to offset the cleanup that have to take place after the events are completed. And some folks are saying that that cost needs to be reduced, and they thought that the $500 and $800 respectively were too high. Some folks are also saying that these events are national events and they're annual events, and that the National Parks Commission need to budget that into their operations so that you don't have to charge the citizenry, which is a form of a taxation. You shouldn't have to charge the citizens for coming to the national park because you would have catered for the expenses in your annual budget. Back to you, George.
Thanks, Wendell. Today, a 24-year-old resident of Seafield, Sophia was remanded to prison on 2 counts of armed robbery. Jerome Smart appeared before the Georgetown Magistrates Court, where he pleaded not guilty to both charges. The first charge alleged that on March 29, 2018, while being in the company of another and armed with a handgun, he robbed Jamal Angus of a quantity of cash and items totaling $67,000. It was further alleged that on the same day at Prashad Nagar, he robbed Donald David of a cell phone valued $40,000. However, Smart told the court that he found the cell phone on the road. He added that he was searched by 2 police officers and ran away, which caused the lawmen to shoot at him as he fled. Smart further alleged that when he was arrested and taken to the police station, a senior officer forced him to confess at gunpoint. Magistrate Azore remanded Smart to prison until April 25th, 2018. The STEM robotics team at School of the Nations has a comedy and music extravaganza planned for this Saturday, the proceeds of which will go to the advancement of arts in Guyana. The School of the Nations STEM robotics team needs your help. They are hosting a fundraiser to help their fellow students go to Washington, D.C.
Trying to set up a team and get these kids to teach other kids. So we're trying to get some funds to send the performing arts students to Nancy Campbell for 2 weeks, I think, and yeah, give them a good, get them there safe and so on, let them get some comfort and bring back the best what they can do.
The school's arts program aims to use the cultural exchange to the advantage of all Guyanese students. STEM robotics team member Bishen Seisnerine explains.
It's a music and comedy fundraiser for our students of performing arts, Nancy Campbell, go to Nancy Campbell and learn what they have learned and bring it back to Guyana to give other kids the opportunity to help themselves express themselves through dance.
The STEM robotics team feels that it is their responsibility to assist the art students as cultural exchanges such as this are crucial to the development of Guyana's youth.
We needed funds too, and we had small fundraisers, not as big as the one this Saturday, but we had small ones which Nancy Campbell students did help us. So in a team, in the school, we all work together as a team, helping each other. So we cooperated with them so they could go. Because they helped us, we helped them. We all help each other in some other time. And it's better for the country too. We brought back a 3D printer. I think that's first in Guyana, I'm not sure. And we will start a STEM team for other kids, not just St. Nations kids, from different schools so they could learn about robotics because the world's constantly changing, getting technologized. So we gotta go up with them.
While the concert and comedy show will be hosted at Nations, you should know, this is no ordinary school performance.
It's a team from Nothing to Laugh About will be coming and help us. They will put on a performance for us.
Oh, okay, all right.
So you guys, all you know, Chiny Man, Jummy Jones, Kavita, Odessa, they will be there. And also DJ Antonio for music and Joma Primo, yeah, he'll be there too.
The Nations Extravaganza fundraising concert will be held at School of the Nations Auditorium this Saturday, April 7th, 2018 at 6 p.m. Tickets are available at the following locations. Don't go away. After the break, woman's shooting death sparks national conversation on violence against women. But first, here's today's foreign currency exchange rates. Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
Welcome back. In an invited comment on Wednesday, Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramjatan described the actions of disgraced GDF Captain Owain Sandy as uncivilized, saying, quote, "You have to be on that level, far more civilized in your approach in dealing with a quarreling woman rather than go empty your gun on her. But this is a serious development. That is the other extreme of where I suppose probably troubles at domestic level, obviously." Despite the use of a service weapon in the killing, Minister Ramjatan feels it would be premature to consider taking guns away from all Joint Services members for fears of them being defenseless if attacked by, quote, real criminals. Sandy is expected to appear before the Georgetown Magistrates Court later this week. Women's rights activist and social worker Nicole Cole speaks about the scourge of domestic violence in the nation of Guyana. In this report, Esther Sobers explains that Cole feels that former GDF captain Owain Sandy has shown a pattern of behavior that makes this past weekend's incident not wholly unexpected.
The self-confessed actions of disgraced Guyana Defense Force Captain Owain Sandy over the weekend has sparked a discussion on violence against women. Women rights activist and social worker Nicole Cole has added her voice to the conversation. Cole revealed that she knew him in their college years. According to her, since then, Sandy had expressed violent thoughts towards a woman with whom he was romantically involved with at the time.
I attended Critchlow in 2001. I graduated from Critchlow in 2002. So we're looking at that time period. I was successful in saying to him, no, you shouldn't think that way, and to talk him, and even though he was expressing his anger at something that she did or was constantly doing, I said, man, look, there's no need for you to actually respond that way. I was saying that because I said to him, look, you have a career. I kept stressing on the career. Eerily, it was reported in the press that I think it was on the 27th of December in 2017 when they had when the now dead spouse and him had a domestic dispute, that he allegedly screamed at her that he would put her in a box and he would put his career on the line. So I often talk to him about his career and the importance of not taking actions that could harm that career. And I thought, well, that he had listened, because seeing him years after and watching him blossom into the person that he became, I'm saying that he would have ridden through the ruts, using a terminology from Bob Marley, you know, that he has overcome that storm in his life.
Thinking perhaps that the embattled officer had heeded her advice a few years ago, Cole was dumbfounded to hear of his recent actions.
On Saturday morning, the 31st of March, who it is alleged have done this? And I'm like, no, because just last year I saw him and he was encouraging me to send troubled young men to him. Oh yes, because he knew I do social work. He would pay attention to my activism, and so he was commending me on my work and was even offering to assist me in helping quote-unquote troubled young man. And so to watch him actually to hear, and then, you know, first I thought it was one shot, you know, and you hear that she got shot. But when I heard 14, I lost my appetite. I cried.
The very vocal social worker who was once a victim of domestic violence related the reported cases of domestic violence are on the rise, according to the police statistics for 2017.
This is coming out of the Guyana Police Force. And for 2017 in A Division, they would have had 167 persons charged. Out of 306 reports of domestic violence. That's A Division alone. In B, you've had 261 out of 482. This is last year's stats I'm giving you. Huh? In C, you've had 457. This is number of reports. And you had 206 charged. It goes all the way down to G. But in the end, in 2017, the police placed 984. And these are men only.
While domestic violence affects thousands of women, Kolat highlighted a proposed plan which was never enforced by the previous and current government, which will help to curb the epidemic of domestic violence against women.
Something must be done to send a clear message.
What do you recommend?
I recommend that we here in Guyana adopt the UK National Plan for Women. It's an action plan. Actually, the UK National Plan was launched recently. It came out in January 2018. It goes from 2018 to 2022. And there is a strategic outcome number 3 that speaks to ending gender-based violence. It speaks to the fact that violence disproportionately affects women and girls because of the unequal power relations in the society between men and women.
For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. The very public shooting of Riona Payne has seemingly sparked a nationwide conversation on domestic violence in Guyana. Wendell Jeffries spoke to persons on the street to ask them their views on the situation.
The debate over domestic violence has raised its head again as over the weekend, about 4 days ago, Officer Orwin Sandy took the life of his reputed girlfriend in a very public and brutal way, Riona Payne, there in Alexander Village. And we went out into the community went out into the streets to ask folks what they thought of that situation and indeed the bigger picture of domestic violence. Here is what they had to say.
Relationship, you need to have patience as a human being, because women and also men, they tend to test your patience. And if you don't have patience, if you don't have faith, it may lead you to do things that you may not expect doing or want to do.
But I ain't got nothing to say, because if now she must give he blow and the man lose control and react. But when she is supposed to kill a woman and you can't leave the woman and she can launch away. You live your life and let the woman live your life. It's simple as that.
The army guy, we can't judge, we don't know, we're individuals, we're human beings. At the moment and thought, anything you could snap, it's unfortunate that you have to act out the way, I mean, life goes on, just gotta try and remain calm, but there's a lot of things that act up these kind of situations,
Well, it was a tragedy, and life ain't fair, but it was her wrongdoings, to me. Because if in case that she knows something will happen, she should have go and at least confront somebody or get help from she should ex-husband, because from the videos on TV you could see that he cared for her very much. So.
He's stupid, man. He should shoot nobody.
That's personal. I don't know what to say, trust me, but it's sad. I don't know what to say, but it's sad.
From different points of view, from my point of view, I feel that is wrong. He shouldn't be done that because he's a military man. He's supposed to give in youth, setting an example for the youth, and I think it's totally wrong. He's supposed to think twice before he make that stupid act to do something like that.
Persons close to the investigation and who would have spoken to Officer Sandy are saying that the officer is drawing a blank, that he does not even remember how many times he knew he shot the girl, but he couldn't remember how many times he shot her, which suggests some kind of memory lapse or passion. Whatever transpired must have ignited some passion in him that caused him to react so brutally. And so that the debate is surrounding whether or not persons need to pay attention to their relationships more carefully. If they see signs, as you heard from some of the comments, if you see signs of violence and irritation, if you shouldn't back down or indeed seek to get into the relationship. And so the discussion continues, and while we have this situation fresh in our memories, it would be good for people to relook at their relationships and indeed the relationships of those who are close to them, and make suggestions or behaviors, adjustments, so that you do not have these kind of eventualities happening. Of course, on Facebook, there is the discussion that folks are suggesting that the officer might have been pushed into doing this. Some are saying that he is a beast for doing it. And so the discussions continue on either side of the divide. However, persons need to be careful of the relationships that they are in, and if possible, either back down when the confrontation starts, or indeed if there are signs of violence and provocation, persons need to reconsider whether or not they want to remain in those kind of relationships. Back to you, George.
Thanks, Wendell. Join us after the break for your regional news, international news, and more. Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook, Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
Welcome back. Here's BB Backus with the regional and international headlines of the day.
The Nevis Island administration has given non-nationals residing illegally in Nevis another opportunity to regularize their immigration status with a 4-day extension. The amnesty, first announced on November 23, 2017, officially concluded March 31st. However, Premier of Nevis and Minister of Finance Mark Brantley announced that the period would be extended to April 6, considering the Easter holiday. As of last week, 982 non-nationals had already taken advantage of the amnesty. Exploration of Barbados' potential offshore petroleum deposit is expected to begin within the next year. Minister with responsibility for energy, Senator Darcy Boyce, stated that Barbados has successfully negotiated exploration license for 2 blocks with BHP Billiton and had awarded another block to Respol, saying, BHP Billiton is now in the final stages of the EIA process, and once completed, we expect the exploration to begin within the next year. Barbados has a relatively large offshore petroleum acreage comprising more than 70,000 square kilometers. And in international news, 18 hostages captured in southwestern Cameroon have been freed in a military operation. It occurred in an English-speaking region where protesters say they are marginalized by the country's francophone majority. The Europeans were reportedly being escorted to a tourist site when they were abducted by a rebel group. In recent months, groups in Cameroon's 2 main English-speaking areas, the northwest and southwest regions, have been demanding independence. And finally, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security says it has observed anonymous activity consistent with the use of so-called stingrays. They were found in locations within Washington, D.C. Stingrays are mobile phone surveillance devices that mimic cell phone towers. They are the size of a briefcase. The devices send out signals to trick mobile phones into transmitting their location and identifying information. Stingrays are often used by law enforcement to track the mobile phone of a suspect as well as gather information about phones of bystanders who are nearby. It is believed to be the first time the U.S. government has acknowledged the use of rogue spying devices in D.C. The DHS said it did not know who was using them. Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, Bibi Bacchus.
Now for your 7-day weather forecast and this week's bridge retraction schedule. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Wednesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook and YouTube, as well as our website, headlinenewsguyana.com. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast, and Thursday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast, saying thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a blessed evening.